You know that feeling, right? As an English learner when you're trying to speak. And there's that little voice kind of nagging you. Should I just get the words out? Even if they're not perfect? Or should I really, really focus on getting every single grammar rule, every vocab word exactly right, even if it means I sound a bit slow?
Yeah, that tension, that's exactly what we're digging into today.
We've been listening to this really interesting discussion over on the Easy English Talk YouTube channel.
That's right. They really got into this whole dance between fluency and accuracy in speaking English.
And this isn't just theory, is it? It's about practical stuff you can actually use to get better at speaking English.
Absolutely. So our mission, really, for this deep dive is to help you get a clear handle on what fluency and accuracy actually are.
Right, why you need both, and crucially, how you can find that right balance for you in your learning. And we're drawing directly from what Easy English Talk discussed.
Okay, so let's start with the basics then. Fluency and accuracy, what are we actually talking about?
Okay, let's break it down. Based on their conversation, fluency is, well, it's about speaking smoothly, comfortably, without too many long pauses or hesitations.
The flow.
Yeah, the flow. Even if there are, small mistakes in there. It's about the rhythm, a natural kind of speed, not thinking too hard about every single word.
Right, like not translating everything in your head first.
Exactly. They used a great example, something like, he'd go to the market yesterday.
Okay, not perfect grammar, but you get it.
You totally get the meaning. Now, accuracy, that's different.
Right. Accuracy is all about correctness. Using the right grammar, the right vocabulary, getting the pronunciation clear.
So someone focused on accuracy would want to say things the right way, even if it takes them a bit longer to construct the sentence.
Precisely. So that example we just used, it becomes, he went to the market yesterday.
Ah, okay. That small change, went, instead of go. That's accuracy.
Exactly. It nails the past tense.
And here's the kicker. The thing Easy English Talk really highlighted. Most learners tend to have more of one than the other, right?
Yeah, you see that a lot. People who can speak quite fast, but maybe make quite a few mistakes.
Or the opposite, they speak very correctly, but maybe quite slowly, very deliberately.
And that's the core dilemma we're exploring. The fast, but maybe flawed, versus the correct, but maybe slow approach.
So let's talk about the struggles learners face. Easy English Talk really shone a light on some common ones.
They did. And it's often not as simple as just choosing one or the other. There are real anxieties involved.
Totally. The big one seems to be just the fear of making mistakes.
Yeah.
It holds so many people back.
Yeah, that paralysis. They mentioned learners saying things like, oh, I don't want to speak, my grammar isn't good enough.
Or what if I say the wrong word? People might laugh, that kind of thing.
That anxiety is a huge barrier. And then you have the other side where maybe learners focus so much on just getting words out quickly.
Right, prioritizing speed.
That sometimes the message gets a bit lost, The mistakes might actually make it harder for the listener to understand.
Which leads to that central question they asked. Is it better to speak a lot, mistakes and all, or speak less, but be really careful and correct?
And the answer they came back with, which makes a lot of sense, is, well, it depends.
It depends on the situation, yeah.
Exactly. What are you trying to do in that moment? And another big issue they brought up, which feeds into this, is thinking in your native language first.
The translation trap.
Right. Constantly translating in your head. It really slows you down.
And it causes mistakes too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because languages just don't line up perfectly. Word order, grammar, it's all different.
Precisely. So trying too hard to be accurate through direct translation can actually mess up both your fluency and your accuracy in the end.
Okay, so those are some hurdles. But let's flip it. Why is focusing on fluency, even with some mistakes, actually really good sometimes?
Well, the big advantage, as Easy English Talk pointed out, is just clear communication. People can usually understand you, even with small errors.
Yeah, your main point gets across. You sound more confident, too.
Definitely. And it keeps the conversation going. You avoid those really long, awkward silences while you search for the perfect word or grammar structure.
Which is super important in everyday situations, right?
Yeah.
Like chatting with friends, ordering food, asking for directions.
Yeah.
You need that immediate connection.
You don't have time for a grammar seminar when you're just trying to find the bathroom.
They had that example, didn't they? Something like, where is bus station? I need to go.
Yeah, not perfect, but totally understandable. Gets the job done.
And there's this confidence thing too. Speaking more, even imperfectly, builds confidence.
It's like a positive cycle. You speak, you get more comfortable, you feel more confident, so you speak more.
And you start thinking more naturally in English over time, less translating.
Right. And interestingly, it can even help your listening. If you're less stressed about forming your own perfect sentences.
You can actually focus more on understanding the other person. That makes sense.
Yeah. Plus, if you want to tell stories, share opinions, Fluency just lets you express yourself more easily, more spontaneously.
So the key takeaway for Fluency seems to be, it's not about being perfect. It's about being smooth, confident, and, importantly, understandable.
Exactly. But we absolutely can't forget accuracy. It has its own crucial role to play.
Definitely. Easy English talk was clear on that. Accuracy is vital for, well, saying exactly what you mean.
Right, avoiding confusion, mistakes can change the meaning sometimes.
They use that example, I have a dog versus I had a dog.
Yeah, simple past tense versus present tense. Completely different situation. One means the dog is here now, the other means it's not. Precision matters there.
And it really matters in certain contexts, doesn't it? Like professional settings, academic stuff.
Absolutely. Formal emails, presentations, job interviews. In those cases, mistakes can unfortunately affect how people see your professionalism or your grasp of the language.
Being accurate shows you have a strong understanding, attention to detail.
And it helps you avoid cementing bad habits, like that he go example again. If you always say that and never correct it.
It just becomes automatic, harder to fix later.
Exactly. So accuracy is important for long-term progress, building that solid foundation in English.
And it helps with writing too, right? Understanding sentence structure makes you a better writer.
Definitely connected. So yeah, for big goals like exams, IELTS, TOEFL, or important speeches, formal writing, accuracy is key.
Okay, so fluency is great for flow and confidence, accuracy for correctness and clarity. Which brings us to the big question.
The million-dollar question for learners. Which one should you focus on first?
What did Easy English Talk suggest here? I think they lean towards fluency, especially for beginners.
Generally, yes. The idea is that focusing on fluency early on helps build that essential confidence. It gets you talking.
It makes it less scary, maybe, just trying to communicate without worrying about perfection right away.
Exactly. They use that analogy, speaking is like a muscle.
You got to use it.
You got to use it. So prioritizing fluency gets you exercising that muscle, getting real practice.
Yeah, and the thinking is accuracy can kind of catch up later. As you speak more, you become more aware of your mistakes, you learn more.
Yeah, sort of a speak first, fix later approach for the early stages, get the communication happening.
Well, there's a but, isn't there?
There is. They made it clear that, especially as you move to intermediate or advanced levels, if you have certain mistakes that just keep happening.
Those fossilized errors.
Right. Then you do need to consciously focus on accuracy to, level up your English, sound more polished, more professional.
So it's not a forever choice. It's more like start with fluency to build confidence, then layer in more accuracy focus to refine things.
That seems to be the advice. It's about finding a balance that shifts as you progress.
Which leads nicely into the practical stuff.
Yeah.
How do you actually balance these two in real life? Easy English Talk had some good situational examples.
They did. It really depends on the context.
Like, okay, casual chat in a coffee shop, you meet someone new.
Fluency is probably your priority there, right? You want to connect quickly, be friendly.
Yeah, saying something like, hi, I'm from Brazil, I like coffee too, what's your name? Maybe not 100% perfect, but it works, it's natural.
No, totally. But now, contrast that with, say, writing a job application email.
Oh, completely different ballgame.
Yeah.
Accuracy is king there.
Absolutely. Dear Mr. Smith, I am writing to apply. Versus, I want job, resume here. Big difference in impact.
Huge difference. Or, okay, you're traveling, flight's delayed, you need info fast at the airport.
Fluency again, probably.
Yeah.
Excuse me, we're at gate 7, flight delayed, what to do? Something like that. Get the info you need quickly.
Right. People will understand the urgency. But then something like an English test, IELTS or TOEFL.
Well, you need both. They're testing both your fluency and your accuracy.
And presentations.
Yeah.
It may be a mix, but accuracy on the content is pretty important too.
Yeah, a mix. You need to be clear and correct, but also engaging and smooth. So it comes back to thinking, what's my goal right now? Quick connection or absolute correctness?
That makes sense. Context is key.
And building on that, Easy English Talk gave some really solid practical tips for learners wanting to boost their fluency specifically.
Okay, let's hear them. What helps with fluency?
Number 1, unsurprisingly, speak. Speak as much as you possibly can.
Just get talking. Don't wait to be perfect.
Exactly. Find language partners, join online groups, talk to yourself if you have to. Just practice outputting the language.
Okay, what else?
Shadowing. This is a good one. Listen to native speakers, podcasts, movies, whatever, and try to copy them. Repeat what they say. Try to match their rhythm and intonation.
Mimicking them. Yeah, that helps with the natural sound.
Definitely. And try to think in English. Cut out the translation step as much as possible.
Harder than it sounds, but probably worth it.
It takes practice. And crucially, when you're focusing on fluency practice, try not to obsess over perfect grammar while you're speaking. Let it flow first.
Fix it later.
Right. Recording yourself speaking can also be really insightful. Listen back. Notice where you hesitate or get stuck.
Yeah, hear yourself as others hear you.
And finally, learn and use common phrases, chunks of language, idioms. It makes you sound more natural and speeds things up.
So basically, practice, practice, practice for fluency.
Pretty much. Regular, continuous practice is the key.
All right. Now, what about the other side? Improving accuracy. What were the tips there?
Well, the foundation is studying grammar and sentence structure. You need to understand the rules.
Can't avoid the grammar books entirely then.
Not if you want strong accuracy. But don't just study the rules, use them. Practice new grammar points immediately in your speaking and writing.
Make it active.
Yes. Expand your vocabulary, too. Having the right word helps you be precise.
And getting feedback. That seems important for accuracy.
Very important. Ask language partners, teachers, use apps. Find out where your errors are. You can't fix what you don't know is broken.
Good point. Are there tools?
Yeah. Things like grammar checkers, Grammarly was mentioned, can be helpful, especially for writing, to spot patterns.
Okay. Any speaking techniques?
One simple one is just slow down a little when you're focusing on accuracy. Give your brain a bit more time to choose the right words and structure.
Consciously construct the sentence.
Right. And finally, review your common mistakes. Keep a list, maybe, and actively work on correcting those specific things.
So accuracy takes deliberate effort and attention to detail.
Consistent effort, definitely.
Okay, so we've got fluency, we've got accuracy, we've got tips for both. How do we find that sweet spot, that balance?
Yeah, because going too far either way isn't ideal, is it? Too much fluency without enough accuracy can lead to misunderstandings.
And too much focus on accuracy can make you sound robotic, hesitant. It kills the spontaneity.
Exactly. So one strategy they suggested was maybe focusing on fluency in one practice session, just talk freely.
Okay.
Then maybe later or the next day, go back over what you said if you recorded it, or just reflect and focus specifically on correcting the errors you made. Fix the accuracy then.
So separate the practice types sometimes.
Could be useful. And as you get better, you try to blend them more. Aim for that smooth flow while also trying to be correct.
Maybe set goals, like today I'll focus on speaking faster, and tomorrow I'll focus on using the past perfect correctly.
Yeah, specific, targeted goals can work really well. It's all about becoming a confident and effective communicator.
Comfortable, natural, but also clear and precise.
That's the goal. And finding your personal balance between fluency and accuracy is how you get there. Both improve with regular, intentional practice.
Okay, listeners, here's a little challenge for you, straight from the ideas in the Easy English Talk discussion.
Let's see if you're up for it.
For this next week, try focusing specifically on one aspect in your English practice. Maybe for the first few days, just go all in on fluency.
Yep, just speak. Don't overthink the mistakes. Focus on getting your ideas out, keeping the conversation moving, even if it's just talking to yourself.
Then, for the second half of the week, consciously shift your focus. Slow down a bit. Really concentrate on using correct grammar, finding the right words. Focus on accuracy.
Remember, the aim is balance in the long run, so if you find yourself freezing up during the fluency days because you're worried about errors, just push through. You can fix them later in the week.
And we genuinely love to hear how you get on with this. Did you find it helpful? What did you notice?
Yeah, share your experience. You could leave a comment on the original Easy English Talk video, or send us a message, or post on social media. Maybe use the hashtag fluency versus accuracy.
Great idea. And look, if this deep dive gave you some food for thought about your own English learning,
we'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe to our show. Maybe leave us a rating.
And share it with any friends or fellow learners who might be grappling with this fluency versus accuracy thing too.
For more discussions like this, exploring different parts of language learning, do check out our other deep dives as well.
Most importantly, keep practicing. Don't let the fear of mistakes stop you.
Mistakes are how we learn, honestly. Embrace them. Learn from them.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning into this deep dive with us.
Yeah, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Take care and happy practicing.